Okay.
Psst. The match starts in 3 minutes. The match starts in 3 minutes.
Yeah, pretty standard lane. It's pretty cut and dry now. The sort of tactics people will use, especially at this stage of the tournament, right? No, nothing too special. However, maybe there'll be a surprise in store. Who knows? Well, the NC have pulled a lot of vehicles. A somewhat, medium or small armor column, but a lot of Reavers, and they're clearly feeling confident, right? Because they're bringing in rocket pods, so they're clearly confident about the air game.
Psst. 1 minute to match start.
Well, I feel bad for the TR because of the gentleman's agreements, right? There's no Empire-specific launchers. There's no air-to-air lock-ons, such as Coyotes, right? There's no AI maxes, so no Mercy maxes, but Gorgons, of course, are allowed. So those gentlemen's agreements are really gonna affect, negatively affect OP who are playing TR today. Because you want a striker for the anti-air, and now they don't have it.
Psst. 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Match start.
So we're off. Air battle time. See a couple of Reavers from RSPC going straight for one for the vehicle terminal at Chimney Rock. One of them just disappeared. Maybe for the point.
Psst. The match starts in 3 minutes. The match starts in 3 minutes.
So RSPC just pulled a Sunderer from Chimney Rock straight away in the opener. And the air battle is raging. Not sure who's winning that currently. It's too close to call.
So hopefully,
Big battle on the road now with the armor columns meeting one another. With RSPC gaining the high ground behind their Chimney Rock spawn. Using it to snipe on the prowlers on the main road, who have to retreat behind the big mountain. But the point still isn't flipped. No one has decided to flip the point. And OP are driving Sunderers onto the point. One with a Bulldog and a Cobalt, the other with a Cobalt and a Bulldog as well. Both
two TR Sunderers on the A-Way. Oh, this is horrible. I'm hearing myself talk twice.
I just saw an air hammer trying to shoot the OP Skyguard. I mean, top marks are trying. Anyway, TR look like they're ready to flip the point, but still haven't decided to flip it. It's still very much neutralized, despite them having their Sunderers next to the point. It's just a huge vehicle and air battle going on right now, which RSPC seem to slowly be winning. It's a very slow opening for both sides here, very methodical. However, those Sunderers don't have any anti-air guns on, and are now starting to get attacked by RSPC's air, including those rocket pods I mentioned earlier. And they're back shooting their Sunderer. So finally, the TR have decided to start flipping the point a little bit. But there's still no timer. There we go, timer started now on Chimney Rock. 4 minutes for RSPC to get in here. And RSPC are just clearing the skies. Very slowly, but definitely surely. They're winning the fight. The Reavers are starting to push the Mozzies back. The Prowlers have just been flanked by Vanguards. They got pincered. There was an assault from the hills to the east. Really well done armor push there. So now there's one Prowler left who's running away. Once that Prowler goes down, they will have total ground control for now. There is another one at Chimney, Heyoka Chemical Lab, but it doesn't matter, it's too far away for now. So that means the battle buses are now absolutely isolated at Chimney Rock. Just as I say, that one is burning. It's about to go down, and there he goes. That's the first battle bus down. Second battle bus is still alive, but with 3 minutes to go, it goes down. And now RSPC are bringing up their own battle bus. This is a Cobalt bus. Sorry, a blockade bus with 2 Bulldogs. I wouldn't want to get in the way of that. So now that the vehicle game has been won, we see RSPC pull the armor back to a more defensive position.
So this is quite awkward for me because I try to kind of communicate, but when I hear my own voice in my head, it's really awkward. So I don't know why my microphone is coming through from my headset.
Yeah, that is that's a big problem. I hope you resolve it. But OP have their own problems because that Sunderer is getting closer to the point. I say that, they just see forward, it is burning. About to go down. One heavy rocket would kill it. But there's no one here. So they don't want to get rocket potted. Then a combat medic just ran out by himself, somehow survived. Pure air to ground Mozzie, which just gets one clipped by 040 NC. Again, another battle bus for RSPC. They've got a deployed Sunny to the west. The TR are fighting to the east to defend their deployed Sunderer, but that's going to go down now. And now they're very, very, very isolated on that point, living off beacons and medics as a Vanguard starts to shell the point. Although he might get tank mined, heroic engineer trying to do it, failing. And that's 2 people because the light assault tried to join him. Lack of communication there. Have a look at the point setup for OP. Oh, it's weak. Oh, it's really weak. There's one engineer turret in the corner. There's no hard light barriers. Sundry goes down. That's a star player for OP. But RSPC slowly start to push the point, waiting for the resonate for RSPC, and that will I'll just definitely give them the point. P, I think, have lost all their medics. No, he just got revived. Throws a couple of resonates, so they're holding on for now. Where's the RSP infantry? They haven't gotten out their vehicles enough just yet. So 9, 8, 7. Oh, point starts to flip. Now they're starting to leave the vehicles. Reservoirs now going on. RSPC starting to flip the point in their favor. Yeah, this has definitely gone the way of RSPC 100%. There's no way they're coming back from this one, OP. And again, we see it time and time again. Often, you know, the first people who get on the point are also the first people to lose the point. It's now 1-0. 1-0 to RSPC. OP are now trying to fall back to Hayoka Chemical Lab. There's no NC beacon here. We see that one NC person has hacked the bridge, so they can't drive that prowler over the bridge. However, in terms of back cap, RSPC are pretty slow on it. The beacon has finally come up, and their lone heavy assault now makes his way to the point. However, there's 2 medics on top of the big stairs, and they gun him down. So now the RSPC infantry is starting the transition slowly over to Chemical Lab. OP heavies getting shot in the back from the big stairs, so the medics run away, but now the medics rotated back, shut down that little push. There's one engineer for RSPC left on the point, he kills one medic, and they sign away for OP, takes him down. So very slow match, which is weird, right? Because this is a 30-minute lane, and yet the opener has been really slow from both sides, really slow, and the transition also really slow for RSPC. I wonder why this is. Maybe they're just focusing on killing a load of the air, denying OP nanites, draining them before really committing to the pushes. I mean, it paid off for them at Chimney Rock. But now to get in the Chemical Lab, it looks like they're taking a very methodical approach, very slowly with the armor. Very slowly with the armor. They had like one suicide beacon with a few people, but no real threat to the TR. There should definitely be a massive air battle going on somewhere, but it's not over Chemical Lab, and it doesn't look like it's over Chimney Rock either. So again, RSPC, right, they're just on the road. We've got a Skyguard, a Lightning, and then a Sunderer, just relaxing, not really doing anything. They're not pushing. The Vanguards, which are nearby in the support, aren't doing anything. They're bringing up a stealthy surprise Sunderer for the assault on Chemical Lab, just as OP are really starting to build up a lot of armor presence on the main road. Suicide run now by a Lightning with one repair Sunderer. The rest of the armor starts to push, but is meters and meters and meters behind. The Suicide Lightning won't survive for very long if they don't call out where those Vanguards are. RSPC playing it really cautiously, allowing OP to push up with the armor. But RSPC have more MBTs, but they do have less Sunderers. But I still think the Vanguard is a really powerful MBT in today's meta, so I'd be surprised if they don't win this engagement. We see one Vanguard has went down already for RSPC, while a Sunderer has just went down. Also for RSPC, and another Sunderer for the TR. So while this huge armor battle is going on, with limited air interference, just as I say that, I just see a Reaver get AP'd out of the sky. The point to be flipping behind, and just as I say that, the cap starts to go through for RSPC at Chemical Lab. So now that's the back cap started. It's not clear that they have enough people here to hold on to it. It seems to me OP are having 12 people in vehicles and 12 people as infantry, or at least 8 people as infantry. So they're able to stop the back cap as their armor starts to push towards Chimney Rock. As his armor's pushing down, it should be Rock. Let's have a look what's happened now. Oh wow, so they've OP are now on the point at Chimney Rock. They've neutralized it. They have got a Sunder there, but it's taking a huge beating. They won the vehicle battle, which is a surprise considering how strong the Vanguard is right now. The point Sunder at Chimney Rocks just went down for OP, and they're getting rocket podded and shelled, and infantry's coming in now as well.
Still not sure what's going on with my sound here, and it's really frustrating.
Unfortunately, I'm nowhere near a technical wizard, so I can't help you. All I could do is try to build up the picture of what's happening, and the point is now flipping in favour of RSPC. That air control, that air dominance, I should say, that superiority is just they're just farming OP right now. That's all they're doing. Literally, they've got rocket pods, so they're flying around and like, right, time to pad us arcades, because there's no need to push them with too much infantry, because you've got a tank outside, you've got rocket pods going in, so they're going to be dying anyway. And OP trying to get a beacon up in the hills, but with 0745, he places the beacon and Kiki drops down. Now so 0745 gets rocket potted. Oh man, I'd hate to be playing in this. This is why you don't get rid of the striker when you play TR. Why would you agree to that? That's definitely a question for the team captains, right? OP team captain, why did you agree to no strikers? Alright, so OP have an infield standing by at Chimney Rock. Let's see if the RSPC transition to Chemical Lab has been better this time. They've got a Sunder in nearby, they've got infantry coming up. Oh, pardon me, they've got 2 Sunderers. Now they just need to push in the point. Still no maxes, by the way. Haven't seen a single max this game. Not a single one. I think that reflects quite well how many vehicles are being pulled instead of a focus on the infantry aspect, if you can call a max in infantry. The big push now coming in from door 1 at Chemical Lab, if you're able to get over there. For RSPC, but OP are holding the lobby. They're starting to get pushed back into the double doors. The big stairs are starting to fall. That 0772 for OP. Brought down 2 and then gets knifed in the back. Oh no! Oh no! One hit knife. Who is that? Nailo from RS. Oh! I think Kiki knifes Nailo. Live by the knife, die by the knife, huh? So OP now have control of the double doors. There's not enough RSPC infantry to really hold the point, or even the building as a whole. So again, the transition really slow. I think that's because RSPC don't be throwing away nanites, but it's losing them a lot of momentum in this game. And like, to be honest, if they weren't being so cautious, I think they'd already be at the tech plant. Like, if they had just dropped maxes or something onto this point, did a 24-person infantry hold, that's all you have to do. It's a powerhouse. Pretty simple when you've got maxes inside. RSPC now pushing back onto the point, but the door 1 to 3. OP are still holding the top of the big stairs though. You see Sondri fall on the small stairs, and as a ambusher shotgunner. People in the back for RSPC switches to the underboss, and now the powerhouse at Hyoka Chemical Lab is fully under their control. RSPC's control, that is. OP now have to Hopefully they have a good understanding of how the base works and how they're going to be able to get back onto that point. RSPC have so much air and vehicle control. Maybe just go underneath the base using the tunnels. And indeed, already six people doing that from OP team. There was one NC guy in the tunnels just ready to call out the push. So they know they're coming. RSPC have plenty of recon. 0492 just bolted Sondri outside. Tries to go for another one. Overextends and gets picked off. Always nice to see bolters being shot. OP have been able to like flip the point a little bit. They're just going to get farmed from above in a moment. Yeah, there's the rotation. RSPC resing everyone, flipping the point back. But to be honest, had there been maxes in that push from OP and a bit more infantry, maybe that would have been a different story. The air control from RSPC has now been relinquished by them, I think, to get inside the powerhouse, get more infantry players in there. And a side effect of that, of course, is now that the Mozzies are coming in with the low pods, if you're from 2013. Breaker rocket pods, Hellfire rocket pods for TR, and they're just clearing away any NC that they find on the outside. Looking away at those Sunderers. 2 minutes left now, 2 minutes left at Hiroki Chemical Lab. About 12 minutes now left in the game as a whole. As this half. RSPC with a somewhat strong hold on the powerhouse. I can see a lot of weak points. But if their rotations are on point and their res grenades are on point, and they might be able to get this. But the more time that gets whittled down, of course, the more problems OP are going to face in being able to assault Chimney Rock. TR currently harassing doors 1 to 3, as well as the double doors a little bit, trying to threaten the bridges, but not having too much success on that side. On the small stairs, there's one heavy assault tying up about 3 or 4 RSP players. Another heavy assault's joined in, they double peak. And one overextending RSPC heavy. Now they're joined by another heavy. RSPC heavy somehow survives, get that res without safeguard. Not sure what happened there when 3 people were shooting at him from OP. Hellfire Mozzies, rocket pod Mozzies trying to shoot in through the double doors, pushing, allowing a small push in the TR. One heavy goes in, dies, and now there's just 2 heavies outside for OP. The point's flipping, but RSPC is still very much in control of the powerhouse because they control the top of the big stairs and the top of the small stairs. The point is kind of irrelevant for now. If they can clear the double doors push, which it looks like they're doing, if they can get the resonates out, it will be okay. Just as I say that, of course, they all rotate down onto the point. They've collapsed the point, but they've been able to take it back. 35 seconds now left on the timer. 30 seconds left on the timer. They're resing as many people as they can at RSPC. While OP, they don't seem to have any resonates. Again, I got to point out the lack of maxes. Need 1 max. Have you, Dotso? I'll take that as you're still busy working with your microphone. No maxes. TR now pushing back onto the point. 1 second, 0 seconds, and that's it. RSPC with the 2-0 at the moment. With about 10 minutes left, I would say. Plenty of time to take the Okotet plant. Their transition is faster than usual. I want to point out now to say that in the same group as RSPC and OP is GSG, and both of these teams today have played GSG, and indeed OP drew 0-0 against GSG, while RSPC 6-0'd GSG. So that kind of indicated to me already, before going into the match, the kind of surprised about the slowness of RSPC, but we'll just chalk that down to them being methodical, I think, rather than anything else. Okay, sorry about that. I was just reading the chat to see if anything was occurring. However, while that's happening, there is now a armor push coming out from RSPC over the bridge at Heroka Chemical Lab towards the tech plant, which has not been flipped, which is not flipped just yet. And there's a load of mozzies circling, literally like mosquitoes, waiting to suck some blood.
So I am not getting any So I'm not getting any loop back on my microphone on my headset now, which is weird because I've not actually done anything. So hopefully you can hear me in the next 3 minutes. I'm not sure if you can hear me, Dubnus, but can you hear?
You're coming through clearly on my side.
Yeah, a bit weird. I just literally restored the defaults to my headsets, and hopefully that worked. But everything's like untouched from the last time I streamed, so kind of confusing. But hopefully I'll find out in 3 minutes.
I hope so too. I'm sure the viewers would also like a break from hearing just my voice talking.
I mean, you say that, but for the few seconds that I had my own voice, I didn't like hearing my own voice, especially when it's double and coming through my ears and looping constantly. It's just pure torture.
I think that would drive someone mad pretty easily. And if I was playing on OP, I'd be getting driven mad by the fact that we're losing the point.
So in chat, just let me know if you can actually hear me now. I don't know what that problem was, but if obviously I'm not talking to myself. Tia on the balcony. Not many people actually on the A point for NC. One individual, PSB 041. TR coming down onto point. Oh, actually, no, there's two NC. Can they get a C4 over that wall?
Oh, bouncing Betty. That's not nice. That's really not nice. Why are they using bouncing Betty's not so? That's surely we can have a gentleman's agreement about that next time, rather than removing your striker from your faction, because that's such a powerful weapon. RSPC now pushing back onto the point. One TR engineer left. He's going to get shot in the face. He threw a grenade though. Was that smoke? Or was that coming from the Sunday underneath? Yeah, it's coming from the Sunday underneath. So, the way RSPC got back onto this point, OP had set up on the balcony like you would do on live. And by the way, OP are pushing in through the rabbit hole right now. Yeah, so they set up on the balcony like they would in live, and just totally neglected the fact that they could gate shield defuse in, or walk in through the double doors, or come down the grav lift. Just completely neglected that fact. Didn't even have a harasser on the big gun, which is pretty simple to do on this base. Oh, there's finally a max. I have to stress this, thought. So there's finally a max. Rejoice! I mean, it's not like it's going to be a useful max, considering it's dual pounders. But still, a max is a max.
NC Light Assault going for the max.
Oh no! Not the first max of the car! Oh no!
He's absolutely bullied there.
Oh man!
But the max came unsupported, with no engineer support, no infantry support. Technically a waste of nanites. TR still in the back vehicle bay, trickling in. Edsy on the vehicle bay balcony.
Like, that was the cruelest thing I think I've seen so far this season. that was mean, right? Oh well. 4 minutes, 40 seconds left on the cap. RSPC seem like they've started to become a little bit faster with their rotations and things. There's a Banshee Mozzie on shooting into the balcony. In fact, there's 2 Banshee Mozzies and 2 Rocket Pod Mozzies just trying to shoot into the balcony. I would also like to point out, Dotsaw, if you go to the top of the tech plant or go to the grab lifts, big grab lift stack coming in now. They're going in through the grab lifts right now. They're jumping down. I just realised I can't jump down with them.
Quite an unusual attack route. Going for the southeast side onto Big Gun. NC waiting for the TR. TR managed to kill the NC on Big Gun. Their medics will have to get these guys up. NC will have to switch now to keep them constrained. There's a few TR poking them at the balcony itself. TR really need to force their way out of that kill zone there.
Could you imagine if one of those NC people actually used a bit of C4 on that staircase? That's at least 4 kills, at least.
Because they had that momentum and they hesitated on the precipice of that stairwell, and hopefully we see some TR-C4s going over these walls and killing these clumps of NC.
I mean, the Hellfire Rocket Pod just picked up a kill on 0492 there. Sorry, 429. And so they're having a little bit of effect. But the NC still control the balcony. One heavy just got flanked by a light assault. The light assault pulls out the commie. My personal favourite, kills a medic. Oh! He knifed the medic. For the BN. And NC now continue to hold the point quite strongly. Firm and resolute in their hold. With OP getting whittled down man by man, medic by medic.
1 minute.
There's only 1 minute left, so they can't capture the tech plant, which is a shame. But still, you want to try and push them off the point, right? Because, well, you've just been 2-0'd, so you need a bit of morale going into the second half.
Still a great push by OP there. I do think they kind of hesitated a bit more on the entrance there on top of the stairs, and they did give NC time to essentially switch and corral them around those round container things. Essentially, obviously in the final minute, even if they were successful, they would not have had enough time to move to go to the point. But at the same time, NC don't have enough time to actually cap this base. So they'll have to count their blessings there.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Enter front, enter front.
So that is the end of round. As we wait for both teams to leave the continent, I'm going to do some more fault finding because I'm probably going to have my gain quite high because I've just reset essentially everything. So we'll sort that out. So what's your predictions for the next round, Dumbness?
Okay, sounds good. Do you want to take pause the stream, or do you want me to keep talking?
A new conglomerate
Just keep
has
going.
taken the facility.
I can do it on the fly, it's fine.
Okay. Yep, sounds good. So what I want to point out here.
You kind of cut off there. I think you might have just lost Dumbness there. Oh, I'm getting a static from his microphone. So yeah, really need to force their way out of that kill zone there. So I'm happy that I actually have sound now, which is a very pleasant thing to have. Hopefully we've not just changed places and now Dumbness is having problems with his microphone. So as we wait for the lane to get switched around, I would like to see potentially on the next round maybe a little bit more aggressiveness from OP. I would like to see at least this bridge get hacked and someone fall into the river. It's just always nice to see. It always seems to be the Chimney Rock Depot, which is the make or break for the momentum of this lane, in my opinion. Because I've seen in previous games where teams have fallen back because they've lost this point, and they just dig in. Back in Guarantee, it'll be the normal starting position, you know, ESS, Prowlers. Still getting stacked from yourself, Dominus, by the way.
The second round starts in 5 minutes. The second round
Okay,
starts in 5
5 minutes.
Now I
Can
hear you.
hear me?
Yeah, now I hear you.
Okay, yeah, that's what happens when you don't replace your microphone for like 5-7 years. Anyway, yeah, it would be great to see someone fall into the river. It's always nice to see, as long as you're not the one, of course, falling into the river, because then you feel like a complete idiot. So I said at the start of the game that RSPC were the favourites to win, and that I would expect the 6-0. Really interesting to see how methodical RSPC were. Rather than playing fast and hard. It's a 30-minute lane, but still plenty of time to get that 3-0 in the first half. Again, for OP, it's difficult to understand why they would agree to gentleman agreements which just handicap themselves, right? Because as TR, okay, yeah, the Prowler's okay, and it should be able to beat a Vanguard in some situations, but the Vanguard normally wins because of the shield. So the armor game is going to be iffy. And then with the Mozzie and the Reaver, if you don't have experienced pilots, those air-to-air lock-ons in the opener are going to give you a bit more power. And then for the infantry, even if you lose the air game, so you can still say no air-to-air lock-ons, you have strikers, so it's okay. And OP didn't, they decided, no, we don't want the strikers, we don't want the AI maxes, and this is what happens, right? You lose air control, you lose Chimney Rock, then you lose Hyoka Chemical because you don't get the maxes inside. And then when you do get a max at the tech plant, the person gets C4'd because there's no supporting infantry. They just got boosted by light assault, and that was it. So a lot of we're halfway through the tournament. Well, more than halfway through the tournament now, and it's really disappointing to see these sort of mistakes coming out from both sides. Right? You'd expect RSPC to be hitting OP fast and hard, not giving them any respite, because you want to send a message to the A bracket teams that you're here to hang, yeah, you're here to chill, and that you can be at that bracket, and then for OP, you want to show that you're better than GSG because you want to do better in the second half of the tournament, and in order to do that, you don't want to get 6-0'd, but putting yourself at a disadvantage before the match even begins with the Empire, specific launchers being removed, or special launchers, I should say. That, in my opinion, a huge mistake. And then not using cheese or force multipliers correctly, again, going to be causing you a lot of issues. And what we see is, of course, the 2-0 from RSPC in the first half. I would expect still 3-0, even though RSPC aren't transitioning very quickly. But I would still expect such a strong scoreline.
The second round starts in 2 minutes. The second round starts
So in
2
2 minutes, we'll be starting the next round. So it's quite well. Normally on this lane, we see both teams normally putting a lot of nanites, a lot of effort into moving up onto Chimney Rock Depot itself, and I'd like to think it's easier to attack from the south because you can get Sunderers straight into the past the armor tower and onto A point. So I think there's definitely an advantage from the south, but if the NC can get down this road quick enough and intercept any potential OP Sunderers going on to the point, because we saw last round there were 2 OP Sunderers on the capture point, and they could have been intercepted. And even then, like, I've seen many Sunderers on capture points quite early, and any sort of ESF ball will destroy them. So it's one of those risks. Like, do you get in there and like fortify, or do you just like wait, let the enemy get in there, and you just scrap their vehicles, then you move in yourself?
Well, okay, so if you have the Tumor start, you can get to the point with vehicles faster to Chimney Rock, and it looks like that's what OP are going to be trying to do. They've got 3 Prowlers, 3 Sunderers. There's less than a minute left, so we should be okay on that. And a Sky Guard as well.
Seconds.
And then they've got
seconds.
then they've got a Galaxy with a couple of escort mozzies, like nothing that full. And so they're going to be going to the point straight away. However, I'm calling it now. They're going to get to the point first.
10.
They're going to lose the air game, and then they're going to lose their Sunderers, and then they're going to lose the point
5,
at the last
4,
10 to 20 seconds
3,
by
2,
RSPC.
1. Second round starts.
That's what happened last time.
Quite interesting to see that NC this time around have actually started in the air,
There
whereas
was no adjustment.
so NC starting in the air this time rather than on the tech plant. TR coming in with their mosquitoes also at height. TR Galaxy slowly moving out of the periphery of the tech plant itself.
Yeah, maybe not wanting to get shut down straight away. Or maybe it's a jam at Galaxy. RSPC dropping the vehicle terminal once again.
OP Galaxy
TR
dropping the
Galaxy's
capture point.
arrived.
OP managing to get a squad.
Maxes! Dotsaw! They've got Maxes!
But have they got the epitome of the max? Have they brought burster maxes? No burster maxes.
But they have brought Pounders, which is going to be useful when our RSPC drive their own Sunderers up here.
Again,
So I'm happy they got Maxes for once.
Again,
I'm
OP
smiling.
managed to get their Sunderers onto point uncontested. We see NC Armour coming around to the east, slowly moving around on the open plains, possibly to avoid any sort of confrontation on the main road. There is a few TR plows on the road holding it, but there's not enough of them to prevent the NC coming around the east and coming around into the south. RSPC do have a beacon up near the spawn room, and they are contesting the vehicle terminal.
Yeah, they do, and they've got 2 people by it. Those Sunderers are going to slowly get whittled away. As you say, right, that armor push to the east is going to roll over what any Prowlers they have there. In fact, one of them just got blown up right now, and they're trying to shoot up at the Mozzies. Shoot some of them down, and the Mozzies are flying away because they're scared. And now we have to see what the Vanguards are going to do. They're not going to go in through the forest route, and they're not entering the base on that way. And that's pretty important to realise.
So OP have 2 Prowlers, and 1 Prowler is trying to contest infantry towards the spawn. He's about to probably get C4 from behind.
Yeah, bye-bye.
And they have a Prowler blocking the entrance. The Vanguards now have moved to the south, and they'll start to pick off those Sunderers and Prowlers from a distance before they move in. Hopefully we see the RSPC Sunderer coming up behind the Vanguards, push onto capture point, deploy infantry, and start to contest this point. 'Cause at the moment, their OP are just going to turtle on the point, and they're giving room for NC to maneuver essentially. And now we see RSPC essentially on the doorstep of this A point,
I called it at the start of the round. I said that this exact same thing would happen, and it's happened, and it's worse than what I thought it's going to be because there's 3 vanguards. The rocket pods from the NC were a huge factor in killing those Thunderers. Okay, yeah, they've got maxes with pounders on the point, but I would always favour a vanguard over a pounder max. But that's just me.
And I've seen it on this lane quite a few times where the use of MBTs in doorways will force the defenders into like the corners. As we see here, we see a cluster of engineers and maxes in this one little corner, and all it takes is someone just to come around the corner, throw a C4 into that respective corner, and then that's pretty much the engineers dead, because they can't really stand around the capture point because they're just going to get hit by vanguards. Having vehicles so close to the capture point does kind of force your hand as a defender. We see OP using force multiplying Spitfires to try and at least hold back the RSPC push here.
Did you see that LA just bush-ins with a skirmisher jet and just C4 2 of the engineers? There's only 1 engineer left now. The other engineer gets blown up by another bit of C4. The medic's coming in. 1 max goes down. 1 max left in the corner. He is at half HP. He's gone down. He almost got knifed. And that's how confident RSPC are right now. And speaking of RSPC being confident, they've just flipped the point, and I would assume they're very confident that they're going to hold it. They have air control, they have vehicle control, they have infantry control, and it's not looking good. It's not looking good for OP.
Because I think OP not contesting the main road now leads into the situation now. Yes, they have vehicles and they are slowly coming up this road, but they've given that room for the vanguards to position themselves towards the bridge, and now they're going to have to fight up this road and to deal with these vanguards, which gives plenty of time on the counter for RSPC. So TR need to act quick, because yeah, they have the vehicles, yeah, they are contesting this bridge, but they're going to have to push, because in 10 seconds this is going to flip to NC, and it's quite fine for NC, because if they know they're going to capture the point anyway, they can just let the NC, sorry, the TR cap it, and then they just essentially steal it. But now we see the situation now where there's quite a lot of TR armor, and it will be really easy for RSPC now just to get in a galaxy and fly all over this armor.
So the big problem where we're pulling all this armor for OP is that they're just going to get backcapped. They'll just get backcapped if they're not careful, right? The RSPC transition hasn't been fast, but you know, maybe they've realised that, and that they can intercept the RSPC armor on the road and in the forest. But I think RSPC are just gonna fly a Reaver over the top of the placer beacon, and then be like, well, now we're on the point. You have to leave your vehicles and waste all those nanites.
NC get their beacon down. Probably NC redeploying right now. NC Galaxy comes in, drops off 1 person, or maybe a few more people, not many. They do have a beacon, they can redeploy, the beacon goes down, and we have quite a massive armor pull by OP still existing. They've managed to split their forces and they are defending the A point. But the more vehicles that persist, the less defenders that they have. These vehicles just need to commit themselves now to wiping this NC armor push and then redeploy to resecure the base.
I've really got to point out, they wouldn't need these Sky Guards if they had access to the Striker. Like, I think at one point they had 6 Sky Guards, they've at least got 4 right now. Maybe even 5 left alive. No, just 4 left alive. They wouldn't need them if they had the Striker. But thankfully they're being able to hold on to the point at Skylance, because RSPC haven't done a coordinated drop on that beacon just yet. As I say that, 3 people drop in.
5 Sky Guards, that's like almost half a squad dedicated to being Sky Guards. And we're just seeing more and more NC land by drop pod. There is still a few TR on the capture point, but as of like maybe a minute ago, they had 5 people in Sky Guards and several other lightning variants, and some are still alive trying to contest the NC at the bridge, and they're doing quite a good job. They're holding that the Sunderers at bay. Quite good work by these OP lightnings and prowlers to contesting the bridge, preventing the NC from bringing those Sunderers on.
So the only reason why they're holding them back is because the RSPC armor doesn't want to get really aggressive, and I can understand that. You want to make sure you've got all your armor in the same place, but at the same point, you know, you could easily push this armor back. And again, we see another slow transition. It's been 2 minutes since, almost 3 minutes now, sorry, since Chimney Rock was taken, and neither the TR nor the NC have flipped a point.
NC
so slow.
NC have managed to bring their vanguards to the periphery of Tumor Skylands Battery. The TR effort to hold them at the bridge has subsequently failed, and now we see them getting caught off guard in the middle of repairs and bunch it up around the southern side of the base. These vanguards now will move around this base and essentially clear a way for their Sunras to provide a hard spawn.
Question, Dotsaw. If you were on the OP team right now, would you be using one of those anti-vehicle turrets on that bridge, connecting to the point to the other part of the battery?
I mean, the turrets are there for a reason, but if I was OP, I wouldn't really be investing in this tank battle if I didn't want to commit to a push. All it takes is a mosquito or someone just to sneak to the actual A point and back cap. We still that NC do have people defending Chimney Rock Depot, and it does appear that TR did try to get the cap. We see a few TR actually. So they obviously did attempt it, so well done to OP, but unfortunately they didn't manage to survive. But they do have a beacon up, however, so they could literally use that beacon, get on this rock, use their heavy assaults, destroy the lightnings defending it, and then push them to point. So it was good to see that OP did actually try to backcap there.
Yeah, so maybe RSPC's methodical approach being justified with that example there, because they've been able to hold on to the Chimney Rock. The air's swooping in at Skylance Battery. They're just farming the infantry and then causing a load of issues for those infantry players.
So we see NC Air now bullying the spawn room, and it would be a great time to see those strikers.
Yeah, but they agreed not to have any, so
Yeah.
there we go. That's maybe pull a max, a burst of max, and then put it into an AI max. Oh no, sorry, it has to be AV. So again, just issues there. NC are making a bit of a push now for the point of Skylance. 3, 4, 5 people coming in now. Hammer! Oh god, no, not like this. I just saw someone use a daimyo.
So NC did manage to get their Sundra into the garage, so NC will be putting on the pressure any time now when they mass deploy. We'll probably see as the NC vehicles slowly start to die, they will provide more infantry to capture the point. But there's not a lot of TI here, so maybe they're actually planning to take Chimney Rock. Because we know they already have a beacon up there, but has it actually been dealt with? Oh, we do have TR on the point. TR are capping. I don't see a new beacon. The infiltrator takes out the defender, but I believe NC just managed to backcap them perhaps.
No. I'm sitting at Skylance. The point is still very much TR.
Unlucky to the OP infiltrator there. He was pretty much 4 against 1.
I say, of course, I just said that the point is very much TR, and the NC push in. So now it's neutralized, it's flipping. It's almost started the timer, there's a timer. And now they've got a harasser guarding the left flank, a harasser guarding the rear. We see this becoming really common for Skylance Battery with the harassers. And for once, I see, second time in a match, I've seen Erdogan Mozzies for OP. They're starting to deal with the infantry and the harassers. One of the harassers is vertical upside on the wall at Skylance Battery of the point building. Inspired by something, perhaps. Wanting to reach the stars.
TI using a defensive beacon to allow themselves to get back onto capture point. 3 minutes, 20 seconds on this capture point. Will we see RSPC get the cap?
It kind of feels like we won't, because they're playing so methodically, and the TR clearly know what they're doing because, well, they're trying to keep the control of the roof at Skylance Battery, which is really important because If you have control of the roof at Skylance, you're normally going to take the point.
There's nothing stopping TR from getting an infiltrator to hail the chemical, hacking the bridge, hacking the vehicle terminal, bringing a Sunderer all the way down to the eastern side of Chimney Rock, and then providing them hard spawns for backcapping, because as we see here, OP have been trying to get that backcap going, but they don't have the numbers to contest the NC defenders. But we do see OP pushing the garage now of the NC hard spawn, and hopefully they can wipe out this threat before RSPC manage to gather some strength and make another push. We also see TR Mosquito is now getting contested by NC Reavers. This Mosquito more determined for the ground pounding.
So about 50 minutes now left in the match. The point is flipping for NC, but there's one TR person on there holding the point. He takes it down along with his medic who rotates in. The harasser they have here, RSPC, is going to get destroyed. It's smoking, it's almost burning, it's burning now. And then he crashes into a wall.
Sunderer in the vehicle bay is now dead. NC only have their squad beacon, which is on the I building next to A. Have OP attempted any more backups? We do see NC Reavers patrolling the base. I'm guessing they have. There is one individual on the capture point. They do have the back cap. Again, it's the same infiltrator. Still not enough manpower here to defend this. Can he get a beacon up? Has he got any friends to help him at the moment?
So I just want to point out quickly that in the last match that I co-casted with Morty, it was YLBT versus TMNT on the same lane. And TMNT won 4-0. And the reason why it wasn't more is because they also struggled to take Skylance Battery, just like how RSPC are also struggling to take Skylance Battery. And again, the same thing that happened in that match is happening in this match. They're just not using their force multipliers correctly. Every time they have harassers there, they don't have the air control, or like they don't have the air present. And now that they have the air present, you see that there's no harassers. And this would be the perfect opportunity for OP to backcap right now. The Reavers...
They have tried, but they're just not getting enough members over there to really consolidate their gains, because it's been the same infiltrator several times now who has been 4 versus 1, essentially. But the NC are putting pressure onto the A point, so it's always that drama of, do you sacrifice the squad to keep the A point, or do you sacrifice them to try and get a back cap? And it's very risky and very circumstantial, and it's all about timing essentially. We do see an NC Valkyrie, a Kazvalk over the capture point.
Yeah, that's filth. You hate to see it. Like you see a Kazvalk on the other team, you're like, I don't want to fight that. The point's starting to flip now for RSPC. Still contested. Couple TR left around. And they throw res grenades. I'm not sure that's going to have too much of an effect, other than boosting, of course, RSPC's kill count.
So we know that the TR will get harassed by the air as they leave the spawn ring, because it is quite open, so maybe we'll see some defensive spawn beacon go down, just to allow them to essentially running from the spawn. We've seen it before, people put a squad beacon just outside the spawn, people redeploy, and they use this beacon to get to A point quicker.
So to the east of the base, a RSPC Vanguard kills a Prowler and scares off the TR Skyguard, which is just going to allow RSPC to farm from the air even more effectively. Just as I say that, of course, 6-7 Mozzies appear from nowhere. And, oh, there's so much Hellfire rocket pods.
Now OP have this air presence. This is their time, this is the perfect time to get back on that capture point.
So the reason why they have this air presence is not because they've killed the Reavers. It's because the Reavers have had to go back to their home base to rearm. And OP infantry is pushing in. Where's the rest of the NC? I see 5 NC, 6 NC, 5 on the point, 1 in the I building to the northeast of the point. Where are they? Some more just dropped in. But where did they go? Did they spread out too much on this base? Just like we saw TMNT do?
It seems that there's quite a few NC in the open, essentially destroying TR beacons towards the garage. We don't really see NC quite cohesive at the moment. They are kind of spread out, but they're very conservative on the rooftops. They're not really dedicating themselves to jumping down to get the point. They're just trying to amass strength before they do so. But as these mosquitoes continue to exist, their presence on the roof is quite fragile. NC now making a big push towards the doors, essentially, from the I building. Still coming in drips and drabs. But that goes for the TR. Where are all the TR? Are they formulating another push? Do they have a platoon on the...
They've got one person on the next base, out Chimney Rock. I don't know if they're on the point, so that's... I was about to say Skylight's defense. There we go. Somehow NC fit the point momentarily. I mean, they're trying to push back on now. Unless they're flipping the point already at Chimney Rock, they're going to have a bad time.
2 mosquitoes at Chimney Rock. We see one land. Willie Land get a beacon up because this will be the perfect time.
Yeah, it's too late. He just got back capped.
But the beacon does go up. They can still use that beacon. Hopefully those mosquitoes can defend that. But at the same time, coming back, bringing those mosquitoes back to the A point to provide that support, get them off the point and allow TR essentially to redeploy on that beacon and get themselves on the A point.
So a good try from OP, I would say, to try and get that back cap going. But they just redeployed that literally 1 or 2 seconds too early. Maybe that Mozzie could have flowed a bit faster and been on the point immediately. Nonetheless, the infantry fight continues at Skylights with a couple of Hellfire Mozzies shooting down onto the point.
OP doing a really good job of finding these Sunderers and destroying them. But NC do have a massive presence on this base now, and will we see those mosquitoes return to provide that air support? Because there is a build-up of TR population in the next hex. Their beacon...
Oh, that's filth.
So the beacon has... Oh, the beacon is still remaining, and we have one individual just casually waiting for that back cap. But this is the thing, TR need to get on that catch point, because the longer they wait to dislodge RSPC, the longer that individual has to wait for that back cap. Because yes, as we see now, the catch point is ticking down, but even when, or if OP manage to get that catcher point back, they still have to wait for it to reset as well, so they're only going to hurt themselves the longer that they wait.
So RSPC finally committing hard to the infantry hold here at Skylarks. They've relinquished air control, they've relinquished ground control, and they are holding the point now, still 2 minutes left on the timer. And they're doing a good job of utilizing the air aspect, and I don't mean Reavers or anything. What I mean is light assaults. I saw just moments ago one light assault get 4 kills from just dropping a little bit of C4 off the roof. He got killed, but doesn't matter because those 4 kills are worth more than 1 light assault, so that's fine. TR flanking around now on the northwest door, slowly pushing the NC back inside.
1 minute 40 on the cap, and suddenly it is daytime.
No! Bouncing Betty! No!
Oh,
Stop
we
this!
see RSPC get absolutely murdered on that corner. Quick res is going up. Come on, OP, push. This is your time to push. You're doing really well to wipe them there. It's your perfect time to push it. There's not many. Oh, yeah, this is the perfect time for OP to push from that back door. Don't hesitate. Just get in there.
Nah, there's so many people watching them, and they have to push in. But at the same time, the flank comes in, and you know what? That's getting farmed by that rocket pod Mozzie. That was karma, because you shouldn't be using bouncing betties. That is so disrespectful. Absolutely outrageous. There's one LA for the TR holding the roof as the NC are starting to get picked apart. No res grenades, waiting for the res grenades.
OP going through the same door continuously. They've just seen most of their team get wiped in that doorway, but they still persist. Doing really well, very attritional warfare here. Lysol gets the capture point on the last 49 seconds of this cap. NC still contesting it. But now this is, like I said earlier, now they have to wait another 3 minutes for the reset. And with maybe 7 minutes left in this match, it does cut into that time frame quite a lot. and our friend at Chimney Rock isn't there anymore, but his beacon still is.
Yeah, so there's about 6.5 minutes left, so plenty of time for RSPC to take this point. If I was the RSPC Force Commander right now, I'd be getting 8 or 10 Reavers to help escort a Galaxy, and that Galaxy, you guessed it, would be filled with 3 Maxes or something, a load of medics, engineers, and heavies. And I'll just drop the point, and those Maxes will be enough to hold that point, because that's what was missing. You know, had they hacked the infantry terminal, and used that from the eye shape and put Maxes on that point, that could have been a totally different point hold. Because Max, I think, should be able to buy 1 Max, maybe not 40 seconds, 2 of them probably, and that Sunderer to the northeast going down at Skylance for at the NC.
So we do see an RSPC armor build up on the northern side of the bridge, and hopefully we'll see OP get that armor, what little they have, down to that bridge just to delay them.
Yeah, also Reaver's coming back, making an appearance once again.
Unfortunately, the TR beacon does go down for TR, and we start to see the NC armor moving out. Several Sunderers, not many Vanguards on the escort. OP Sunderer gets abandoned by the harasser. They both try to retreat, seeing what's coming. A Skyguard is now the frontline defense against this onslaught, and he also runs.
Okay, that's good to see. They've RSPC are using a Liberator to try and contest the armor hold from OP. Try to support the armor push as well, which they've got going on. The Reavers are starting to farm the infantry down below at Skylance Battery, but they've lost so much time on this timer. OP now have 45 seconds until they can back cap, and that's really good. You know, they got a Sunder in again to that northeast area, RSPC, and okay, yeah, I can understand why you want a hard spawn and stuff, but also you could have just Gao dropped. Okay, so like again, this is RSPC trying to be methodical and sacrificing a lot of speed because of it. A lot of speed and, in my opinion, a lot of efficiency as well.
NC Liberator are still trying to find any potential Sunderers from TR, but TR still have their beacon, and with 30 seconds less, sorry, 5 seconds on this resecure, will we see a back cap? RSPC 0405 now moving towards the capture point to contest it and defend it. The point is flipping at Chimney Rock, the same infiltrator again. He doesn't have any friends this time. Infiltrator versus infiltrator, who will win? The TR beacon goes down. More TR do come in. It's up to these 2 TR to get a fresh beacon up. One of them just needs to get that beacon in.
I mean, that's good. Okay, so they've actually got a beacon, but they're just going to get the ground farmed, and anyone who lands on that beacon is just going to get blown up by the rocket pods, and then the infiltrators are just going to slowly get pushed by the infantry coming in. But not a huge response from RSPC in terms of infantry numbers, but a huge response in terms of the air.
Oh, here comes OP dropping in on that beacon, right in the middle of an RSPC push.
It's too little too late. Too little too late. I wonder why their redeploys are so slow. Definitely a question for the team captains, I think, at the end of the match.
But NC still have beacons, and now established Sunderers onto Tumor Skylance, and that's the risk that OP have to take. Do they commit to making a push from Chimney Rock, or do they stay on the Skylance Battery, and do they essentially rid the area of any sort of NC Sunderers? But it was nice to see OP attempt a capture on Chimney Rock and go on the offensive. But as we enter the last maybe 2 minutes of this game, that was probably their last attempt on that base. I don't think either base would be capable in 2 minutes.
Nope. Definitely not. I mean, I'm surprised, right? But this is very similar to the YLBT versus TMNT game on this lane. So teams are having trouble, a lot of trouble with Skylance Battery, and it's really surprising to me because it's quite a simple, it's quite a simple base to use force multipliers for. It's just teams seem to just struggle to do it effectively, right? And now we see OP running back onto the point at Timur Skylance Battery, securing it, and that's probably going to mean that this game will most likely now end 3-0.
The Terran Republic has taken the facility.
Waiting for the back cap at Chimney Rock. Don't know if one's going on. Doesn't look like it. No back cap at Chimney Rock.
One minute remaining.
As we enter the final minute of this game, neither team can really do anything at this point, and now it's just a team deathmatch.
Yeah, I mean, for me, this is the point. When there's a minute left like this, yeah, you can keep playing. Or if you're in OP, you can start to discuss immediately what's happened. If people have been because when you get defeated like this, a lot of teams will start to have issues with members getting with members getting upset, right? Because no one likes to lose. And so I think whoever's leading is going to have to be combating that right now. While for RSPC, they could just be like, yeah, we'll run onto the point, we'll shoot people in head, and we'll flip the point, and that's what they've done, and they can just relax, safe in the knowledge that they've been able to put themselves on equal footing with PTSD in the group.
End of match. Congratulations to RSPC, 3-0. The team captains, please join the waiting for the interview channel for the post-game interview.
Cool.
So to both teams in my opinion did really well. It was quite unfortunate to see OP go for that Chimney Rock, but just not in enough size to really make a difference, and I do feel like they kind of slipped up there, but at the same time doing so might have sacrificed their defense of Timur Skylance. RSPC did really well to keep bringing those vehicles in, keep bringing those Thunderers in and the Reavers when they needed it, but even then I do feel like they could have committed to getting on that capture point at Timur Skylance pretty often. It felt more like they were dragging it out essentially than they needed to. So how do you think that went, Douglas?
I think it went well for RSPC. Obviously, right, they won 3-0, but I actually kind of think it went. That second half was a lot better from OP. Their defensive Skylance battery was encouraging for the rest of the tournament, and I'm kind of surprised RSPC didn't get 6-0 because they are a really strong team. Not sure if they played their strongest roster. That might have something to do with it. Maybe they had a new leader, which of course I'm looking forward to asking them about with the interviews. And it's kind of weird that OP didn't make any adjustments to the opener for the second half, because why would you commit to the same sort of strategy which didn't work the first time and make 0 adjustments when you know that RSPC are going to have the air control to start with? Very strange in my opinion, and I'm looking forward to asking the OP guys about if they're going to start using a walker or a ranger on the back of their battle buses to try and help with that. Yeah, are we not able to bring them up here? I think that's what we're supposed to do. Yeah.
User was moved to your channel. User was moved to your channel. User was moved to your channel. User was moved to your channel.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
Hey everyone.
So first of all, well played to both teams. We saw some really good fights there.
That was a rough fight for both teams, I think. With yes, we dominate the match. But that was not a storm, not totally unbalanced, and OP managed to cause us some troubles.
So RSPC, what do you think of the lane? Have you played this lane before? Have you had any previous experience on this lane, or is it pretty new to yourself?
No, I don't. I don't really have critics on the lane. It's in a somewhat balanced one. There are some bases very open to the ground pound, some less. But I think it's quite balanced in terms of size of the map because the map are quite the bases are quite close from the others, and there is a real vehicle play, I think, compared to some more longer maps.
Did you guys put any training into this lane? Like, what's your before this match? Like, how much did you put into this?
That's a lane we know quite good. We played it, and we played it even in Server Smash or Community Smash. That's generally Chimneys generally a neutral base on Community Smash, and we had some opening on it on Community Smash. And last year we played it for the tiebreaker against Kobe.
So talk us through your force composition then. What was your makeup? Because we did see quite a lot of Vanguards and quite a lot of Sunderers and several Reavers. But what was your setup? Like how big were your infantry squads, that kind of thing?
Sorry, I don't quite understand the question about.
So what was your force composition essentially? Like how big were your infantry squads? How many people did you dedicate to vehicles, for example?
We have a basic setup with some pilots, generally a dozen infantry and a dozen more player vehicles, but a lot of we are really looking forward and training our players to be polyvalent, and when it's needed we have people that are able to switch to air, switch to vehicle, and that polyvalence is very important because you need the problem you have as a team captain or platoon leader in LaneSmash is that you have 24 people to make the job you will want 36 or 48 people to have, and you can't just have someone who is just pure infantry because we saw in that match particularly that there are some times where infantry was not the point, and 2-3 people in infantry just keeping a point or trying to make pre-cap were enough, while we needed more people in vehicles or in the air. So, yeah, having a squad that is polyvalent, platoon that is polyvalent is really important, and we really think about that when we are setting up the lineup.
What is very hard this year, specifically, I think, about composition between the 24 men, is that the meta has changed a little bit. When a team is losing a base, they are going back on defense on the previous base very much faster than previous years. So the concept of pre-capping with 1 or 2 guys is not working anymore. Because these 2 guys will face 6, 7, 10 guys in front of them, so it's not working anymore against most of the teams. So that's changed. That's changing a lot of the meta of the game.
So, Shefka, can I ask, because I realised this during the match, that for both sides, your transitions from defence into attack were quite slow compared to perhaps what we've seen in other matches. And I'm wondering, how do you guys think you're going to be able, this is a question for both teams, how do you guys think you're able to make your transitions faster?
Yeah, I guess I can answer for OP on that one. We've always struggled with transitions. It's something we've been working on and we haven't really gained much ground on. This match we've been better on our vehicle play, so I was hoping to incorporate that into our transitions. But the one time we really did get to have a go at it on the in the first round, we tried to drive some Sundays into the forest again, and they caught us with their vehicles. We did take a lot of them out, but yeah, we were stopped in our transition play there. But yeah, we are a bit slow on a transition, slower than we'd like to be.
Yeah, on our side too, if you want, I can explain a bit what is our process of training. During the first time, we train a lot the taking points and retaking points, which is a really specific thing, because that was our principal default. Then we worked on our platoons structure. Sorry. As I was talking about that polyvalence and of the platoon, and effectively, I think our transitions and our weakest point at this moment compared to PTSD, for example, have amazing transitions.
Okay, thank you. I just have one really pressing question for OP. Why would you agree to a gentleman's agreement where you cannot use a striker and you can't use mercy maxes?
We're not very good with maxes.
But what about the striker?
I'm not
You
sure
make
about
the
striker.
gentleman's agreement before you find out what faction you're playing.
Okay.
I don't know what went down with the gentleman's agreement with the striker, but to be honest, we just switched to grounder, if anything.
Yeah, fair one. So OP, like, what was your opinion? Like, how do you think the match went overall, and what was your composition?
Yeah, so this is our fourth match. We've had two more trainings at one of this lane as well, and I must say we've been getting better every week. I think if we played Voon, which we played in the first week, this week, we'd have a better result maybe. Our vehicle play's improved a lot. It's still not there, but yeah, in terms of our composition, we had 10 dedicated for infantry. I think we had 8 or so in the air who also switched back to infantry, and then vehicles. I think there were 5 of them that switched back to infantry too. So it was very much dynamic, 24 people, but about 14 or so going back for their vehicles.
Because we saw quite a few times that your infiltrators did some really good attempts to backcap at Chimney Rock. But we did see more often than not that they were pretty much getting 4 versus 1. Were these infiltrators just going to get the backcap for the sake of it, or was this like a planned thing? Or was it just mainly a case of just keep going there, harass them, that kind of thing?
It was to keep it as an option. I kept sending it because we needed the option at all times. We did try and capitalize it at once. They shot down our Galaxy. So, yeah, that happens. I think that was Vicious who got the beacon down that time, because Vicious is the air lead for this one.
Yeah, because we saw the infiltrated a few times, and there were a few occasions where we were like, oh, maybe OP is going to make a push onto this point, and RSPC managed to get onto the cap at Chumas just in time for that happened, and it was great to see like you guys like still, you know, like you said, giving yourself that option, where we normally see quite a few outfits like they'll just dedicate themselves to turtling on Chumas.
To be fair, I think we kind of did turtle a bit more than we should have, but I think that's because we were coming up against RSPC, and I think we knew they were a better team, so we were just playing a bit more defensive, finding an opportunity.
And do you feel like you're walking away from this match with like things learned essentially, and how are you going to bring those lessons into your next game?
Yeah,
I think we learned quite a lot. I think we've learned a lot from all the games we played so far. We came in with a lot of players who've really never played LaneSmash, for myself included, who had no experience, and I think we've adapted quite well. As for the lessons to take away from this one, I think there are a few squad composition lessons and some strategy lessons to take away. Nothing burningly obvious I can think of from the air, other than we need to be quicker in transitioning to air to ground once we get dominance in the air, because there are a few times where we were hanging on Reavers when they probably didn't have enough to stop us from going air to ground.
So, my final questions for both teams. First of all, with OP, you guys, your next match is on May 29th. against PTSD, who are currently the winner of your group. How do you think that match is going to go?
They're our training partner in essence. We've had a few trainings against them, and I think it's an understatement to say we've got PTSD just playing them.
Okay,
they're pretty good.
And just as an off comment, essentially, the next game on this channel will be the 2000 PTSD versus GSG on this channel. So I'm going to assume that you guys are going to watch that to see your next opponent.
Yeah, we'll keep a close eye on it. As I said, they're our training partners, so they've already tried a lot of their tactics.
So what's your prediction then? What's your prediction? How do you think you're going to do?
Yeah, PTSD.
that pretty much sums it up. Okay. And RSPC, your next game is against Voon on May the 31st. What's your prediction for that?
Predictions are difficult to do because, as I said already, the teams are going forward. They are learning very fast, and you can't expect the team you are facing a week being the same as than the previous week. So I want to win, and I expect my guys to win that match. We should win on the paper, but
we will.
Hey, we will. But we have to be really serious to keep working our transitions. That will be our axe of progression for now. But we should, on the paper, we should win. But the day of the game, you have to be at 150% to win, to be sure to win, because there is no little opponents on that competition, and that's what makes it really interesting.
Yeah, for sure. But I would like just to quickly point out, for example, right, you guys beat GSG 6-0. GSG beat Voon 6-0. So if I were you personally, I would be feeling pretty confident going into that match, even if you do play a more inexperienced roster than the one you've been using so far. I feel like you guys have a really strong chance.
Yeah, that's why I say on the paper we should win, but
we will.
we will win. But yeah, we have really to take that match seriously, and even if we win, and if we are favorite for that match, there are more matches after that against WFAT or even PTSD, because I really saw them to go in final for Group B, and we have to be just perfect for all match, and no matter the opponent, we have to give our best.
So my last question to both teams essentially is, in hindsight, what do you guys think like you did wrong this game? What's the one thing that you could have changed, if anything?
If I might to start, I would just say for now I don't know. We have to debrief. I have to see the POV of my guys, to see the streams and analyze it, because I didn't have time to think during the match. That was tense, and that was actions, a permanent action. So I can't really say for now, because I just have to think it when I be a bit rest after a bit of rest.
The thing that is very complicated since this year specifically is that beacons have changed. I mean, previously, the transition were easier because as far as you redeploy, you had no timer before being able to drop on the beacon if the beacon was set. Now, when your guy set the beacon, you still have 10 seconds or 15, I don't remember well, but you have a quite huge timer before being able to drop finally on that beacon. So it's a really close timer where the opponent can destroy your beacon. There's also a timing during your opponent can take the point on your base, because your guys are waiting on the redeploy screen, so nobody is there. So that's the real issue this year about I mean, it's the real transformation between previous years and this year, and I think that's why a lot of teams have some troubles to make a good transition because of the timing.
Yeah, I'd agree with that side because the beacons, when you sit around 15 seconds, it just kills any attack. But yeah, that's similar to what we do. Different is that normally we'd stick half a squad in each of the infantry so that both Alpha and Bravo can use beacons. The vehicle players can use beacons when needed, but we got that wrong today. I think we went too heavy in the vehicles in Bravo squad, so we struggled to get our beacons working.
So what? So to OP, what was the logic for the 5 or 6 sky guards that got pulled? Like, because that was a very odd thing to see, and because that must have been quite a heavy nanite investment.
That's probably a lack of logic from me. I really should have gotten a couple of people to pull APs. Really, we just saw a very heavy air opening at the start. We got almost completely wiped in the air, and the thought was to get those sky guards on Chimney Rock and try and keep them off our infantry. But we didn't bring enough APs for that to be useful at all. We couldn't get to Chimney Rock. So that's on me.
Yeah, and that's partially why, because they couldn't get to Chimney Rock because we had them in the Bravo squad without beacons. So that kind of stemmed from that.
But anyway, you guys played well. It was a real.
Both teams did play really well. It was a pleasure to cast and watch.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
It's a pleasure to be part of it. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
So, to the players, thank you very much for coming. For the viewers, thank you again very much for watching. On this channel, in the next 30 minutes, we will have PTSD as TR versus GSG playing as EDC on the lane 1 Heyoka to Chumas lane, which is technically what the lane we just had there. But the organisers have been very, very cheeky and switched the two around. So one says Heyoka Tech to Chumas and one says Chumas Tech to Heyoka. So it is the same lane. So hopefully we'll see some comparison between the two teams and how they started off. Maybe the other teams playing next watch this stream to see how they started it. Maybe they're going to throw in some last minute changes, perhaps, that kind of thing. So essentially I'm going to leave this stream going. I'm going to go into an intermission stream essentially, and then I will see you guys in probably less than 30 minutes. Again, thank you very much for watching this stream, and thank you to the refs, co-casters and both teams.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks.